Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, I'm making up enough. We're talking the game, get you to the days. They're high in the court, they're diamond in the night. Variety, high, time in the same. Authentication, sports information. Nation and airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, they're working your faces. Grace is the field, sometimes the laces. Whole sports all plays.
What is going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another episode here at Unscripted. A wonderful Thursday, a lot of matchups going on in the NBA, a lot of news, and some football. Jay, what's going on? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well. I'm doing real well. And apparently, we've been told that we have to control the amount of cussing that we do on the show. So I'm bringing my cup. If I can't say it, I'm going to show it. There you go, Freddie. Eat that one. Tell me I can't say what I want to say. If I can't say it, I'm going to show it. But it's good to be here, and I'm ready to talk some sports. Let's get after it.
That's right. Here at ASAP Network, we have to control our language and our, the way we speak because we've been getting a little rowdy lately, and we need to be professionals here. So let's get it started. Our first topic of the night. We all know Steph Curry had passed Ray Allen on the all-time three-point scoring list. I think it was this past Tuesday night in Madison Square Garden against the New York Knicks. He also pulled a very good victory over the Knicks that night as well. So does this mean that Steph Curry's record puts him at the best shooter of all time? Jay, give me your thoughts.
There's so many schools of thoughts on this, right? If you look at just the number alone and just take it for face value, the fact that he's passed it up, okay, yeah, you could probably say he's the best pure shooter. I love it. But here's the deal. Damn, Freddie. Hey, but here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. If you look at it from a perspective of all time, and so when we say all time, now you're taking the old school of NBA where the fouls were different, the rules were different. Everything was, the physicality was different. A lot of things were different. The mid-range jumper was king. So there wasn't really necessarily a need to shoot all these three balls. The three ball just was never really in the coaching plan. It really just wasn't. It was a luxury if you shot it, but they didn't really take a lot of three-point shots. So I think it's kind of skewed because I think that if you take the way it is nowadays, and the new rules, the way we shoot the ball now is the three ball is 1, the layup is 2. That's it. The only one that even shoots a mid-range jumper anymore is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's really the only one that does a mid-range jumper anymore. So you got to look at it for what it is. Curry came up in the new generation where all he shoots is threes. That's all he does. If he is, and he will go to the rack every now. Don't get me wrong, but primarily he shoots from the three-point line. That's all he does. So his numbers are going to reflect that. If you look at somebody like Ray Allen, or you take somebody like Reggie Miller, or their old school NBA coming into the new school NBA. If those guys were, if you took Ray Allen and put him into the same time frame as, Steph Curry, where all he did was shoot threes, we all know Ray Allen can shoot the three lights out. Time after time after time after time. That number would be so much higher. And then we wouldn't really be talking about this because he didn't shoot the three ball nowhere near as much as Steph Curry because it was old school NBA. So I don't know, man. I do think he's a great shooter. I still, in my personal opinion, I still think that Ray Allen is the more pure shooter. But that's just my opinion. But I do like Steph Curry. Hey, nothing to take away from what you're. I don't want to take away from your feet and what you've done, because what you've done is amazing. But go ahead, Frankie. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Ray Allen, honestly, to me, is one of the best 3-point shooters of all time. But what Steph Curry did was something that I don't think we'll ever see someone ever do. The kid's only been in the league for 10 years now. This year makes 10 years of him being in the NBA. I think he got drafted in 2011 or 2010, something like that. And he's been starting it since then. So for him to reach this goal within just 10 years of the NBA, and we know he has many more to come. So he's going to add on to this 3-point number. I don't think we'll see another person for a while try and catch up to Steph Curry, because we know how he is at the 3-point shot. He did change this generation of the NBA for the 3-point shooting. Nowadays, like you said, nowadays all we see is 3-point shooters. The 3 points are like their 1 points, and it's really tough for them to try and hit a mid ranger when it's easier for them to hit from the three. Um, but someone like Steph Curry, man, I'm not gonna say that he's the best pure shooter of all time. He's definitely the best pure shooter of this generation. Just not all time in my list. I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm a Ray Allen guy, but hey, I still want to take my hat off to he's still done a great job.
Our next topic: what team surprises you the most in the NBA, Jay?
I put this up here specifically for Freddie, and really kind of you, Frankie, because I know y'all are such diehard Lakers fans and stuff like that. But after you kind of went into that overtime win over Dallas, it just kind of, the mediocrity of the Lakers right now is really what surprises me the most, honestly, because everybody thought they were going to be so much better. The super squad. I mean, this is a team that should be atop of the world right now. They should have the best record, doing everything great, and they're just not. And let's be honest, this Mavericks, they're barely 500. They didn't even have Luka. So what surprises me is the expectation was so high for the Lakers coming into this season, what they were supposed to do. And they just haven't lived up to that expectation. So it really surprises me where they go from here, being, where they were supposed to be and where they currently are. That's one surprise. The second surprise is what the Washington Wizards have done with that lineup and not having to rely so strongly on Bill. They use Bill, but they are so much a better team now than what they were last year, and that really surprises me. But I am happy.
That's cute about what you said about my team. That's real cute. But you won't be saying that when we hold that championship up at the end of the year. Watch. There's so much game left in the NBA. So, and right now, the way we're playing and we turn it around, I feel like we're looking good. But there's a lot more to go. But the most team that is surprising me the most, honestly, and I've been talking about them for a couple. I've been talking about them for a couple of weeks now, and that's the Memphis Grizzlies. I feel like the Memphis Grizzlies, honestly, is the most surprising team to me. Playing at a level that they're playing at without Ja Morant. I feel like when he comes back into the lineup, they're just going to be more dominant than what they are right now, because how we all know how Ja Morant plays. He was putting up some crazy stout numbers before Memphis is even looking this good. So Memphis is a really good surprising team to me. Also, what surprises me is the Knicks. I thought that the Knicks was, they're looking like the Knicks from before. They started off real hot, and we were talking about how the Knicks look like a team where they can make the playoffs and make it further in the playoffs than they normally do. But they just are at a slump right now, and then they're just not looking like the Knicks the way they started. I'm hoping that they can turn it around, because Julius Randle is playing really good basketball. For the past 2 or 3 seasons, he's been playing really good basketball, and I just want him to keep it up. And I like Julius Randle, man. He's a former. We drafted him, so basically he's like a Lakers man. If it wasn't for us, he wouldn't be in the NBA. Basically, I mean, he would have got drafted by a different team that year, but we picked him up first, so it's our choice. But
going back to what Joshua Bailey said about IT being better than Westbrook, I think he's better for this team than Westbrook. I absolutely think, and of course, time will tell now. Now that Westbrook's on the COVID list, and I think they just signed IT, if I believe, so now they're going to play with IT for a little bit. It's going to be curious to see how the dynamic of this Lakers team changes now that IT's on the court. And I'm sure they're going to probably bring Rajon Rondo. I would hope they bring Rajon Rondo off the bench and have him play some minutes. And I would like to see between IT and Rajon Rondo what they can do with this squad and how they can make this squad better. And if they do make it better, then do you go back to Russell Westbrook if they start playing better? I think it's going to be interesting. I know they're going to go back to Westbrook because they're paying them the money. But I think if this IT experiment works and it shows that they're better with IT than with Westbrook, what do they do then?
Right, yeah. For those of you who didn't know today, it's been news that Russell Westbrook is in the safety protocol due to COVID. So, hopefully he gets better. He's going to be out for 10 days, hopefully less, but the maximum is 10 days. So with that, because the Lakers have so many players out right now due to COVID, they were able to sign Isaiah Thomas to their roster. And then it was just for a 10-day contract, Jay. He's not going to be there long. He's just there for 10 days, covering Russell Westbrook until he gets healthy and comes back into the lineup. But there's also, I'm hearing what you said, and I'm also at an agreement. If Isaiah Thomas within these 10 days is able to change the point guard position in the Lakers, what will the Lakers do? Will they decide to keep Isaiah Thomas? Obviously, they're going to keep Russell Westbrook, but if they decide to keep Isaiah Thomas, they're going to have to make some roster moves, and somebody's going to have to go. And that question is, who is that somebody? But hopefully, that doesn't happen. I like the roster we got now. It's early into the season. We still got some players that are out due to injuries and COVID related problems. But this is the reason why we had to bring Isaiah Thomas, is because most of our point guards are out on COVID. Literally, all of our point guards are out on COVID. So that's the reason we were able to get Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Our next topic of the night is what KD did with this depleted new Brooklyn Nets make a case for him being better than LeBron James. Before we start, I just want to say to Freddie and to all the Laker fans and LeBron James fans, this was not my choice of topic. This was all Jay, and I think Jay is doing this to piss me off and piss Freddie off. And I know Jay better than anyone here, and I know him. He did this to upset me, so I just want to start it off by saying this was not my choice.
Hey, let me pick it up where you're dropping off. And you know what? And in a small way, yes, this is me poking the bear a little bit. But at the same time, look, think about it for a minute. Just think about it for a minute. The man has 7 people on the team out with COVID, and all of them are their main guys. They brought in 4 rookies. Then they took 4 rookies, Patty Mills and Durant, and won the game. He played 48 minutes, had a triple-double, and won the game. And had fun doing it. So at what point do you say, can Bron do that?
He did it. He did it with a broken Cleveland Cavaliers team.
Oh, he had people on Cleveland helping him.
After Kyrie left Cleveland, he basically was carrying that team on his back. And that was why it was his decision to leave and come to LA, because he knew he was tired of carrying that team on his back.
Speaking of LA, I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh my God.
You go to the first round. Anthony Davis, your boy Wander, goes down with injury. Now you got Bron out there with whatever scrubs they gave him, and realizes that he can't win. So what does he do? Goes to the locker room, leaves all the other guys out there to brunt it out while he's in the locker room pouting because he has no heart. Don't tell me about that. I seen Braun when Anthony Davis went down with LA playing the Phoenix Suns, and Phoenix Suns just spanked that ass.
Jay, you're saying everything.
He didn't like it, so he quit.
You're saying everything possible right now out of your heart to try and upset all the Laker fans. Did you not know that LeBron James was hurt last year also?
God,
he was not 100%. He was dealing.
KD's plays with injuries.
He was. When does KD play during injuries? We all know KD's a little girl, and when he's hurt, he would rather sit down on the bench and wait to get better rather than fight it and play.
Having KD even play in the game that he was playing, but he said, "No, I'm going out there. I'm playing." He's got issues. He's got medical issues, but he went out there and played anyway.
LeBron James was injured last year with like an ankle injury, and he was not fully healed. He even said it himself. He was injured literally half the season last year. Still came back and played. Played in the playoffs through an ankle injury. Yeah, he got eliminated, but my man fought through that playoffs with an ankle injury, knowing that he can literally finish his career if he keeps playing it and tweaking it at a different level. He knows that.
Frankie, I have receipts.
You have receipts of what? What do you have receipts of, Jay? You have receipts of Dallas Maverick jerseys?
Hey, let me talk. I'll tell you. I got receipts, Frankie. Where Freddie himself, diehard Laker, Freddie Henderson. I wish he'd come on this show, but I got receipts that shows Freddie Henderson. Even Freddie. Hey, what's up, Ben? What's up, baby?
What's going on, Ben?
I got receipts with even Freddie Henderson when that happened. When Braun walked off the court because he realized it was over and there was nothing he could do about it. He cried. And even Freddie Henderson said that Braun had no heart. And this is coming from a guy who touts Braun pretty damn hard. And even he admitted that Braun quit on the Lakers and was disgusted by it.
Well, when you're down, you're down in the series.
To the point where Kobe beat Bryant himself, and had he been there, would have shaken his head and probably disowned him.
Hell no, because Kobe done that plenty of times. When we got swept by the Dallas Mavericks, which was the end of the Kobe and Phil Jackson era, you think Kobe walked with his head high into the locker room? No, he was pissed off.
No. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm telling you, Braun, while the game was still being played, went to the locker room and said, "Hell with it, I'm done."
Yeah, because he knew we were down.
He was crying in the locker room. He was done.
He was crying because his ankle was hurting, Jay. He was playing through a hurt ankle. That's why he was crying. All right. He was pissed that they were down in the series and nobody was stepping up to be the next man. And we've been saying it all last year.
He quit on your team.
We said it last year. He didn't quit on our team. No, because he's still here playing.
Jordan never quit. I watched Jordan play the championship.
Jordan quit
with the stomach flu.
Jordan quit after 3 years, went to go play baseball, then wanted to come back, and then he quit again, and then come back to play with the Wizards just to suck, and then quit.
Can you see that, Frankie? Can you see it?
I'm not saying, Jordan's like KD, a little crybaby. Yeah, I remember when Jordan played through that flu, and he still scored over 60 points that game, or 80 points. So I remember, I know that game. I remember that game. And
let me ask you this question: Who's in running? Obviously, Steph Curry is most likely going to probably walk away with the MVP. But who else is running with him for MVP? Who else is in that run? Who is in there?
To be honest, I would say.
No, who's in there? Just answer the question. Who's in there?
Chris Paul.
Who else is in there?
I'm not gonna say KD.
You don't want to say it.
I'm not.
Say it, but
because he's not in the conversation. Is he anywhere in the conversation on NBA TV or anything? Do you see him in the MVP conversation?
How do you figure KD is not in the running for MVP? How do you figure? What planet are you living on?
He's not in the run for MVP, Jay. He's not. This is what is expected from KD for being a star and being a person like LeBron. He's supposed to carry a team. He's supposed to carry a team. He's supposed to be a leader. That's what he's supposed to do. That's what he got paid. That's what he's getting paid for, and that's what he got signed for.
Oh, okay. and I'll tell you, Durant is doing a marvelous job of it. Marvelous. Think about what happened. Kyrie is out there in La La Land because he don't want to get his vaccine. Harden's out there with COVID and barely plays. So he's really basically the Nets are on top of the universe. And it's all because of Kevin Durant. Where the hell
is expected?
Where the hell are the Lakers with Bron in full accompaniment? Where they at?
What? Do you not see what Bron is doing?
I watched a full roster of the Lakers going up against a hobbled, COVID Lucas-stricken game, and they had to go to overtime to get out of the damn building.
And did you see how much? And did you see what LeBron scored?
By all purposes, Durant would have already been out the building.
Oh my God!
He would have been out the building. I'm just saying, you can't dispute. The facts are undisputable. They are what they are.
Yeah, look what my man Ben said.
Listen, Ben has been inflicted with the Omicron variant of COVID. He doesn't know what's going on right now. Just like I'm pretty sure you got the Omicron variant. It's spreading like wildfire. It's spreading like wildfire. So right now, Ben is in pain right now. Ben is delusional. It's not his fault. He's got the Omicron variant of COVID. It happens.
Listen, all I'm saying
I love you, Ben. You know I'm teasing you.
All I'm saying is this is what is expected from KD. Okay, he's a leader of this team. Without Harden, without Kyrie, this is what is expected of KD. All right, and the way you're saying he's in the MVP conversation, the reason he's not, to me, is because he's only doing what he's doing from the mid-range shot, and the only reason why he can hit his main-range shots is because the man is like almost 7 feet tall. He's like 6'5", 6'6", or something like that. He's tall, and he's got long arms. Look at those arms. Like,
there are lots of people in the NBA who have height and long arms that couldn't do crap with it. Manute Bol was one of them. Greg Ostertag was another. There's lots of them out there that are tall. Kevin Love, the old Kevin Love probably could have, but the new Kevin Love, the one that's riding the bench right now, you see where he's at. So what are we talking about height for? Look at Zion. Where's Zion at? Zion's over there eating Twinkies.
So let the man eat Twinkies. Twinkies
what are we talking about height and long arms for? That don't mean nothing.
That means a lot. The height means a lot, Jay, especially when you're switching up your players on the defense when you got the switch out. So that means a lot.
No, you were talking about Bron and when they played against the Mavericks and had to go into overtime without Luka being there. Just think about that for a minute. They didn't even have Luka. You went up against a bunch of scrubs. By all means and purposes, a bunch of scrubs.
No, we didn't. You know why? You know why? Do you know why? Because they have their number 2 leader. They have the number 2 leader. They have Porzingis as their second leader. Porzingis is not going to lead. If Porzingis is not going to lead the team, if he's not going to lead the team when Luka's there, or when Luka's not there, then that's not our problem. That's a Dallas Maverick problem.
I don't know how we talked about Porzingis. I don't know how you got Porzingis in there.
Exactly, because that's how nice I am. I can switch a topic to change it to a new one. Like what I'm about to do to this one, because this one was insane.
Just so you know, so he went 9 for 19 with 24 points. He at the 3-point line, he went 4 for 9. 4 for 9, 3 rebounds and 5 assists. Very, very, very pedestrian. And some people may say below LeBron James's platform. Very pedestrian against the Dallas Mavericks. That would have never happened to KD. KD put up a triple-double without having half the damn roster with 4 rookies. And
you know what, Jay? You know what? We will find this out come Christmas because the Lakers play Brooklyn Nets on Christmas Day, and we will find out then.
Absolutely.
So
I can see the vein popping out right there. See, I'm camping. I got up under your skin and I put my campground and I'm making s'mores.
Because you're putting so much hype into KD's name. What I'm trying to tell you is that's what expected of KD. Okay, that's what is expected of him.
Well,
But
what's
come
expected of
Christmas
LeBron?
Day, you're gonna see the difference of what I'm saying and what you're saying. So for right now, drink your cup because I'm saying that cup is for you right now, from me to you. Let's move on to our
Yeah,
next topic.
yeah, let's go on. We'll spend all day here.
What does Angie mean as the new CEO of the Utah Jazz?
I don't know who's Angie. That's that. You mean Danny Ainge?
Oh, Angie, my bad. Yeah.
All right, hey, listen, hey. So we all know. Okay, look, and this really got Pride. This really got Pride bent out of shape on the morning show. Pride was really bent on this one. He felt betrayed. He felt that Danny Ainge snookered him. He felt that Danny Ainge was a liar. That he was playing games, and he was just all kinds of just comments about just how bad he felt that Danny Ainge. I mean, he was calling him a fraud. All kinds of things. Man. It was just terrible. Look, Danny Ainge left. And for whatever reason he left, whether it's he just needed a new start someplace different, which Pride's point of view was, it's fine if you're going to do that, but just don't lie to me. Just don't lie to me. That's what Pride was saying. And you know what? Sometimes we leave and we have a change of heart. And we at that particular time, I think Ainge probably really did feel that he was done. So he said it. And then he got out there and maybe he had a change of heart. His boy Ryan Smith, the new owner of the Utah Jazz, is a BYU alumni. Ainge is a BYU alumni. So Smith said, "Hey, Ainge, come out here, man. Let's go do this golf tournament together. Let's have some laughs. We'll just cut it up and have a good time." So Ainge says, "Sure, why not?" So they go on this little golf retreat together. And somewhere along the line, Smith and Ainge start talking about coming back into the NBA. And they start rekindling old good times at BYU. One thing leads to another. Maybe a couple of mimosas, maybe a couple of, whiskey and cokes, and a few other things probably goes by the wayside. And you know what? And just thinking like, yeah, hey, I think I probably can. I've spent time with the family. I've recharged my batteries. I'm out here having a good time and hanging out. You know what? Yeah, let's give another shot. I'm feeling pretty good. You know what? Maybe let's do this. And so he says, okay. So now he's going to come back and be CEO. And he's going to come back and he's going to get started with this young Utah Jazz lineup. And I think he likes the lineup. I think he likes the positioning of the team. And he feels like he can make a difference again. And just like he did with Boston. And to Pride's point, hopefully he doesn't go too crazy wheeling and dealing and making trades like he did in Boston. Some of the trades worked out really well and some of them didn't work out too well. So we'll have to wait and see what Danny Ainge does with this Utah Jazz. But in any event, he's back. He's in the game. He's back in the front office. And I'm kind of curious to see just exactly where he takes this Utah Jazz team. Frankie?
Well, I feel like this is some of it is good to me, some of it is bad. Like you said, he has history with the Boston Celtics making terrible trades and making some good trades. Then again, he won the championship in 2008 with the Celtics against my Lakers that year. So I feel like this is a good pickup for the Utah Jazz. Hopefully, it's for the best for them. He is the new CEO now with a good team. Now, they've been to the playoffs the past 4 seasons now, 3 seasons or something. So they're pretty good, the Jazz. He has a chance to take them far. The question is, what is he going to do now that he's CEO? Is he going to be better for them, or is he going to make these guys, start going downhill and be worse? We don't know. Hopefully, it's up. To me, I just feel like he's back. He came back because he was running out of money. Like you said, he spent time with the family, but the man was running low on money, and he needed to come back. And Utah threw out that big number and said, "Hey, we'll give you this much." And he's like, "Hell, I'll sign that right now." He
Yeah.
locked electric signatures. That's what he did.
Yeah, he did, and now we're moving on to a new era in Jazz history. And I am curious to see where he goes. And Pride, let it go. It's gonna be okay.
Oh, this is what we've been waiting up. Everybody, Thursday night football tonight. The Los Angeles Chargers are going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have won, I think, 7 games in a row now, or 6. They are red hot. The Chargers came off of a red hot victory. this past Sunday, and this is a divisional game right here. Many things can change playoff scenarios, division scenarios for this AFC West matchup. Jay, you like this game tonight that's about to happen?
Yeah, I do. I think we're gonna see just how well this Kansas City defense is coming into form. Greg from ASAP seems to think that he's a Chiefs guy, so he seems to think that the Chiefs are gonna go in there and handle business against Austin Eckler and Herbert. And then Jake from over there thinks that San Diego, or not San Diego, it used to be San Diego. It's Los Angeles Chargers now, right? LA Chargers. Yeah. He thinks that LA Chargers are going to, come out and do their thing because they went into Arrowhead and beat them in Arrowhead. So, which was an impressive win. So right now you got an 8-5 Chargers going against a 9-4 Kansas City. Herbert versus Mahomes. And I tell you, man, I think they get Keenan Allen back in this game. Am I correct? I believe he's coming back off of health injuries. I think he's coming back. I think he's going to be in this game.
Yeah, let me just double check that.
Yeah, double check that. I'm almost positive he's going to be in this game, which, that is pretty much the factor of whether or not the San Diego. I'm so used to saying San Diego Chargers from the LA Chargers against Kansas City. And I tell you, man, and LA or the Chargers our defense is going to have their hands full with the three-headed monster we all know about. So, but at the end of the day, I'm still going with Chiefs. I think Chiefs are going to, and the game is being played in LA. So I got Chiefs against them, and I think they're going to air the ball out. I think their defense is going to play well, and I got the Chiefs winning this, and I'm going to call it at 28-17.
Yeah, this is going to be a good matchup. Keenan Allen is active tonight for this game, so I'm glad that you brought that up because I was going to say if he's not playing that miss player for the Chargers is what's going to change the game scenario for this game tonight. But now that he is active, I feel like the Chargers have a better shot at winning this one. Like you said, they pulled off a victory against the Chiefs in Arrowhead, and playing tonight in SoFi Stadium or Sophie Stadium, however you pronounce it. It's a better matchup for the Chargers' sake. And also with Austin Eckler, we noticed on Sunday that he left with an ankle injury. Wasn't that serious, apparently. So he is playing tonight. So the Chargers' offense is in full effect. And I kind of like the Chargers' defense with Bosa running it. I feel like the Chargers have a real strong shot at beating the Chargers or the Chiefs tonight. I don't want to give my final score, but if I had to, I'm going to probably say 21-24 maybe, or 24-21 Chargers.
And I'll tell you, with so much on the line, and like you said, the division is on the line tonight. That's a lot. Both teams are going to come out fully amped, giving everything they got. You're not going to get no watered down version. I mean, these teams are both going to come out playing very competitive football, and you got two really good quarterbacks going at it, and it's going to be one hell of a good game to watch. And by the way, I know Eckler's on Frankie's team, and I'm going against Frankie tonight. So I really hope that Eckler does not have a good game, and I really hope that Chiefs defense is able to stop the run and force Herbert to pass the ball more often.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Austin Eckler is going to have an amazing year, amazing game, just like how he's been having an amazing year. So I feel like Austin Eckler is going to have a good game, and I also think Justin Herbert is going to have a good game on the throwing at the air as well. So they're going to have a good game. This is going to be a good matchup. A lot on the line. If the Chiefs win, they become the new number 1 seed in the AFC until Saturday. When the Patriots play the Colts, and we'll see that scenario go down and see what's up with that, and also with the Titans, because we have a 3-run race or a 3-lead race right now in the AFC and NFC, where the Patriots, Chiefs, and Titans for the AFC are tied with the same record at 9-4, and you have 10-3 the Cardinals, the Bucks, and the Green Bay Packers. So a lot can change this weekend for the NFL. So a lot to watch out for. NFL Week 15 games to watch.
Ooh, you
Jay,
know there's gonna be some good games.
what's your most watchable game that you want to watch this weekend?
So I was scrolling through. Frankie, I think for your sake, that Patriots Colts game looks very enticing, because you really get to see just how good New England's defense really is against the run, because you're going against the best runner in the league in Jonathan Taylor. So there's a lot of questions out there about who should be in the top 5, the Power 5 in the rankings, and how legitimate or how high should New England be in this rankings. And I think tonight will be a very good test just to see how far we should put this New England team up there, going up against the best runner in the game. So I think that's gonna definitely be a big test for those Patriots. Looking down through the rest of the lineup, it's a lot of soft games. Cowboys, Giants, that's another NFC East. You got Washington versus the Eagles. I think that's going to be Washington beating the Eagles, Cowboys beating the Giants. But those don't really tickle my fancy. The one that I guess maybe possibly the next one that would tickle my fancy would be. God, there's really not a whole lot left. I mean, there's really a lot of soft matchups, to be quite honest. Week 15 has got a lot of soft matchups. Probably the Colts game is the biggest, is one that's good. Tonight's game is good. And then possibly the only third game that might be somewhat enticing would be the Packers and Ravens. And that's only if Lamar Jackson plays.
Yeah, I agree. That's the one game I was going to say. If you didn't mention it, would be the Packers and the Ravens only if Lamar Jackson is active. We don't know yet. He has not been practicing this week, so there's a lot in the air right now in Baltimore. But
it really is. It really is a soft week. This is a soft week for the NFL. Hopefully next week it's a little bit more challenging games. But those 3 games, though, those 3 games are still very, very important. Getting ready to start shaping up the playoff picture, though, in terms of who's looking good and who's not.
Definitely, and I agree with you on what you said. The most watchable game for me would have to be my game, honestly. There's a lot going on for that game, both for Indianapolis and New England. So I feel like that's going to be, like you said, that's where it shows out if our defense is good or not. I think we're going to do a great job defensively, honestly. I think we're going to stop them on the run. We're going to stop Jonathan Taylor.
I really hope not, though, Frankie. Jonathan Taylor's on my fantasy league. I really, for the love of God, hope not. I need Jonathan Taylor to blow you up.
Well, if anybody's been paying attention to the Patriots, they should know that we're not really good on the run defense until you're in the red zone. Once we get you in the red zone, there's no way you can run that ball into the end zone, unless we let you.
Yeah.
Unless we let you. So, and that's something that Bill Belichick does. He doesn't mind or he doesn't care to give a runner. Yeah, he doesn't care if you give a runner 15 or 20 yards. But once you get that ball into the red zone, that's where he turns into Star Wars Emperor, and there's no way you're gonna get that into the end zone. But I don't like that, and I don't want that. I don't want to see Bill Belichick let Jonathan Taylor run 15 or 20 yards, because for one, that will help you out, and for two, I hate to see that. I feel like no football fan for any team will love to see their coaches let the opposite runner get like 15 or 20 yards. That's insane. I hate that. So I hope that our defense could stop the run and force Carson Wentz to pass. Hell, we've been hurting quarterbacks since I think Cleveland, or even before that with Zach Wilson during the Jets, because we hurt him and got him out for about a couple of weeks. So we've been hurting quarterbacks since then. So hopefully our defense can get to Carson Wentz, and I don't want to say hurt him really bad, but at least hurt him to where he'll be out for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Frankie.
Before we go to our next topic, I want to go ahead and give us a little break for our ASAP group. Ooh. Where is it?
It should be a play.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
Thank you to our guys at All Sports, All Play, ASAP Network. You guys are amazing. Our next topic, Jonathan Taylor or Alvin Kamara. Who are you rolling with? This is an insane topic. Jay.
You know, and here's the deal, man. We've been debating this, and I'm kind of putting a cap on it, but I really want to kind of get your opinion because this is really what it comes down to. You know, I still feel like a lot of people are talking about keeping Kamara over Taylor simply for the fact that because he has great hands and he can, you know, he's good in the receive game, which is fine if I'm judging by an all-purpose back, you know, scenario. But just as a running back, their primary function is to run the ball. That's why everybody roots for Travis Henry to be a number one because he runs the ball all over the place. Alvin Kamara doesn't do that. He has never broken 1,000 yards. That's my big cry on this. He's never broken 1,000 yards. Why are we talking about this guy? He's like I said, I really think he's just a hyped up version of Kevin Falk. And Frankie, you remember back to the Patriots days when they had Kevin Falk. And that's what I see him doing. He's a running back, but he's also a wide receiver. And that's exactly what Kevin Falk was. And he can't handle the workload on his own. It's where he gets hurt. He gets hurt so much trying to be that runner. And that's where I think Jonathan Taylor is the better physical specimen. When you're looking at a running back and you want to run the ball, you want to build a running game, you build it around a guy like Jonathan Taylor. You may put Alvin Kamara in there as a change of pace or put him in there for receiving purposes, but you're not putting him in there all the damn time. Jonathan Taylor's the guy you put in there all the damn time. His guy can just flat out run. What do you think, Frankie?
Man, this is really tough. But if you give me Alvin Kamara healthy, you best believe I'm going to go Alvin Kamara over Jonathan Taylor. If Alvin Kamara can stay healthy, just because the man is a beast. You give the man when he's healthy, he is a beast, Jay. I understand what you're saying. He hasn't broken 1,000 receiving or rushing yards yet, but it's still early in his career. He doesn't have Drew Brees anymore. He got hurt this year. He was a little banged up last year, but Alvin Kamara healthy, man, he is dominant. He will be a force to be reckoned with. I don't think nobody can stand up to this guy when he's healthy, honestly. He can break through the middle, and he can honestly do his counter slots perfectly well. So, I mean, I'm not putting Jonathan Taylor down. What Jonathan Taylor is doing this year is fantastic. But let's be real. If Derrick Henry never got hurt and never, ended his season early, we wouldn't be talking about Jonathan Taylor. This right
here.
here.
Let me ask you a question. Let's. I like what you said there just a minute ago. Let's be real. All right, let's really be real. Let's put our chips on the darn table. Let's put our chips on the darn table. Let's put our chips on the table. You're choosing fantasy league, and you're in your draft process, and your turn comes up.
I'll tell you right now, my first pick was Derrick Henry this year.
Hold on, time out. Listen to me now. We're not talking about Derrick Henry right now. Derrick Henry's gone. You're drafted probably around 5 or 6. And Alvin Kamara and Jonathan Taylor, given what you know about him, Alvin Kamara and Jonathan Taylor come up. You got a choice between the two of them, and you need a running back. Who are you going with?
This year?
Just who are you going with?
As a football man,
who are you
honestly,
drafting?
As a football man, honestly, because I know the health concerns with Alvin Kamara, I will pick Jonathan Taylor.
All day, baby.
Because I know how once you get injured into the NFL, you are not the same. You will never be the same the following year, honestly.
But let's be real. Let's keep it real. You're not drafted Taylor because of that. You're drafted because you know Jonathan Taylor going to get you more points. That is the idea. That is the all-purpose of fantasy football. Is putting up points. And Jonathan Taylor puts up points. And that's why you're drafting him. Let's just be real.
No, I'm being real with you because if I'm telling you right now, if Alvin Kamara never got hurt and he was 100% healthy, this Alvin Kamara can give you points like he did his rookie year, his first year pro. He was giving you fantasy points, touchdowns, rushing yards, receiving yards. He was putting up numbers. But ever since he got hurt, he hasn't been putting up those same numbers. And me being having that mindset of once a player get hurt, I'm never going to draft them because I know how they're going to you know continue to be the next year. They can end up getting hurt, or they can end up not playing for a while because they aggravated or re-aggravated the injury from before. So I would honestly pick Jonathan Taylor because of that reason. But if Alvin Kamara was to stay healthy and never been hurt or got hurt, I would definitely pick Alvin Kamara over Jonathan Taylor just because I know Drew Brees isn't there this year. So the only person that's next up to and no Michael Thomas, by the way. So the only person honestly to get points for that team would be Alvin Kamara.
So why would you put? So okay, if that's the case, then so why would you put Travis Henry number one?
Derrick Henry,
Or excuse me, Derek. I know I'm saying Travis Henry
because
Why would you put-
Derrick Henry had back-to-back 2,000 rushing yards.
Oh, so we're not talking about receiving anymore.
Derrick Henry hardly gets receiving yards.
Answer the question. So we're not really talking about receiving and all those little ISO factors that you talk about Alvin Kamara. When it comes to Derrick Henry, we don't talk about that anymore. That's out the window.
That's a different. That's a different.
Answer the question. Answer the question. So
I'm gonna answer it. It's a different scenario. Derrick Henry is a powerhouse. He's a powerhouse runner. He doesn't do much receiving. He doesn't do much slot routes when he's.
Exactly.
So that's different.
Well, no, it's not because right now Jonathan Henry is Jonathan Henry. I'm combining them now. Jonathan Taylor is over 13, almost 1,400 yards right now, and we still got what 3-4 more games left in the season, something like that. No, you got 2 more games left in the season, so he's probably going to hit. I say he's probably going to hit. He's going to get close to about 1,600 yards. And this is his second season in the league. You don't think that he's got better years coming up?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
of course.
I think the ceiling. But I guess what I'm saying is, I think Jonathan Taylor's ceiling is so much greater than what Alvin Kamara's is. It's my whole point.
And the reason for that,
and you proved it when you said Travis Henry based on his 2,000 yard rushing. You know what I'm saying? You'll take those rushing yards over a guy who's an all-purpose who could do everything. Versus, you know what I'm saying? So yards matter.
It does. But what I'm also saying is, if Alvin Kamara never got hurt, he would be a different man today. He would be the man the way he started.
Bo Jackson. So I mean, Bo Jackson. If Bo Jackson ever got hurt, we'll be having conversations and we'll be comparing him to people like Sweetness.
Definitely, of course.
He had finesse. Just like Walter Payton had finesse. Bo Jackson had finesse, and he was fast.
Of course, and like I said, that's what happens. Once you get injured in the NFL, you're not the same that you were before. Look at Dak Prescott. He got an ankle injury last year, really bad. Came back this year, started off hot, and now the Cowboys, they're winning games, but they're not winning. They're not winning it the way they were in the beginning of the season, and that's probably because Dak Prescott ankle is probably aggravating him. This is a long season. They had an early bye week, and now it's aggravating him. That's what happens when you get injured.
Absolutely. What's our next topic, brother? Oh, there's the man.
Will there be another opportunity for Urban Meyers? For those of you who don't know, last night, early in the morning, it's been announced that Urban Meyer was fired just 13 games into the season from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jay, you think he's going to get another opportunity?
Yeah, like we said earlier, not in the NFL. His NFL days I think they're done. He'd have to go through some kind of serious change to make it back in the NFL. I just think he's burnt so many bridges and left so many bad tastes in the mouth that I think the NFL days are pretty much well behind him at this point. So I do think, though, the college realm, where he was successful, which he, obviously he has accolades, he was a very high winningest coach out there. I mean, he's right there with Nick Saban, honestly. Obviously, Nick Saban has more rings, but I'm just talking about as a coach. He's just as good of a coach. So I think somebody's going to take a flyer on him. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody's taking a flyer on Urban Meyer.
Now, I am going to have to disagree with you. I don't think he's going to ever see another job opportunity in the NFL again. But I also think he's not going to get a job opportunity in the college ranks just because these college schools probably seen and watching how he's doing and what he's doing in Jacksonville, and now it's thinking that they're like, wow, this is Urban Meyer. Like this is the guy that ran Ohio State. He was like literally one of the he's the second greatest coach in college football history. Well, I wouldn't say history, but in today's day, he's the second greatest coach. But they're going to look at it and say, did he do this when he was the coach for Ohio State? Um, I don't think he's going to get another opportunity anywhere. If I was Urban Meyer, honestly, I would just stay retired. I don't know why he came out of retirement to get in an NFL opportunity. You had no chance. You've been out of the game of football for about 2 years before. Before accepting this opportunity with the Jaguars. So I don't think he's going to get another opportunity anywhere, and I hope he doesn't get another opportunity anywhere because what kind of coach what kind of person you're going to be just because you're angry and you're having a terrible season, you're going to go around and kick players and talk trash to your own players and tell your players, well, I'm the head guy here. I could say and do whatever the hell I want. Man, that's not how you talk to your players. So I don't think schools or teams are going to look at this guy and want this guy on their team for after what they've read and seen. What does Hopkins' injury mean for the Cardinals postseason?
Yeah, I mean, given what the Cardinals are, where they're trying to go and how they're being elevated, now they're going to have to do a next man up mentality, which I would say Zach Ertz, I think, is really going to have to step his game up, and which is doing a great job. And one thing about Kyler Murray, we talked about earlier, really spreads the ball around well. Like he really gets all of his guys involved. And I think if they get Zach Ertz involved early, that will help spread the playing field out for the rest of them. Again, for Moore, for AJ Green, and so forth. Connor's gonna be able to run the ball. So, but I do think they need to get Zach Ertz going, and I think they need to get him going often in order to have success. I mean, obviously Hopkins is out the rest of the season. We'll see him again in the playoffs, but I think for these Cardinals, they're going to have to get everybody else involved, and they do have a pretty decent schedule. Their schedule is not too bad, so they should be fine going get repped up. But if they want to get first round home field advantage, they're definitely going to have to step it up, and somebody's going to have to fill in where Hopkins left off.
I'm glad that you brought up Zach Ertz. Yes, I agree. Zach Ertz should step up now. He should get more receptions and more touchdowns now that DeAndre Hopkins is out. But there's another person in mind, AJ Green. Everybody keeps forgetting about AJ Green. Now that DeAndre Hopkins is out, the only person that I can think of that's close enough to Hopkins' level would be AJ Green, veteran wise and receiving wise. Obviously, Christian Kirk is probably going to be the next number one receiver. But I would love to see AJ Green get more receptions, get more yards, because AJ Green is still that player that we known from Cincinnati. People want to put him down and not mention him anymore because of his injuries and how he looked with Cincinnati and stuff. But AJ Green could still be a deadly receiver if you let him be. So now that Hopkins is out, I want to see AJ Green get more receptions. So it's been announced that Super Bowl 50, what is that, 7, 8?
I think that's 58.
Yeah, sorry. Super Bowl 58 will be in Las Vegas in Arlington Stadium in February 11th, 2024. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That Vegas Strip is going to be lit.
I'm telling you right now, I don't mean to be, take this to another level, but them strippers are about to be rich in Vegas.
Oh, the party's coming to town. I'm telling you, if there's any Anna Nicole's out there, they're about to get instant famous. They're about to get instant. Hey, listen, them players going to be in the locker room, making it rain. So, hey, that could be dangerous. That could be dangerous for the Super Bowl teams that are playing there, because what if they decide to go out and hit the strips before the game?
Exactly.
You know what happens in Vegas. Don't always stay in Vegas. I'm just saying,
Right.
don't always stay in Vegas. And I hate to say, I wish Logan had been on here today, because I was about to. The reason why I said, you know what, this may be the closest the Las Vegas Raiders make it to the Super Bowl. They may go down there and whiff their stadium real good.
I'm gonna like this. I really do. I like Arlington Stadium. It's really huge. It's a beautiful stadium, and for Las Vegas to have the Super Bowl here, it's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait, and I wanna see what two teams that year is gonna be representing it. I don't think. Not to put our boy Logan down, but the Raiders are definitely not going to represent home field stadium wise for the Super Bowl when this happens. I just don't see it happening, just because I don't see Derek Carr lasting that long with the Raiders. I don't think he'll be there by 2024. I think he'll be gone, if not this year or by the end of this year, definitely by the end of next year, he'll be gone. But this is amazing. This is fantastic. The 49ers defensive end, DeForest, is now out for the season. What does this impact their defense hugely now for the year?
He only played in a few games. I think maybe 3 or 4 games. I think he played in this season. So so they haven't really had him for a large part of the season. So I don't know how much they're missing him. I mean, they're gonna. I mean, he's not a. He's okay. He's okay. I look at his numbers. He's got maybe like 5 or 6 sacks, I think, so far. So I don't think they're gonna miss him. I think they're doing just fine where they are. And that would be nice to have a healthy DeForest back, but I don't think he's affecting them too much right now. Are the Niners even in the? Are they even in the hunt right now?
They are, yeah.
So they're in the hunt, but not necessarily a wild card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Niners just need to revamp for next year. I think this year is pretty much a done deal for them guys. What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're gonna miss DeForest that much. They don't really need him this year if they already been playing kind of without him. It really, it sucks, because to me, I feel like if DeForest was in there, DeForest is the type of defender where he gets double teamed, so they'll get another defensive man in the lineup to get open hole access to sack the quarterback, or at least rush the quarterback. So this is a really bad, part for the 49ers, but it's also, like you say, Jay, I don't think they're going to care. Number 2 college football recruit Travis Hunter signs with Deion Sanders and the Jackson State over Florida State University.
That's amazing to me. Isn't that amazing? Oh, Deion Sanders over there. Hey, he's flipping them. Hey, he's trying to get some credibility watching Jackson State. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this guy plays cornerback. Am I correct?
Yes.
So probably Deion whispered in his ear like, "Hey, come to Jackson State. You know I'm like one of the best quarterbacks ever played in the league, right? So I can mentor you up and get you ready for the NFL. You know that, right? So you should really come play for me. He's whispering all of that. I mean, he's probably pulling out all the tricks to get these commits.
I'll tell you what, I'll do the same thing. If you get if Deion Sanders was to call me and say, "Come play for me in Jackson," I'm gonna make you a star. I'm gonna make you the first round recruit for an NBA or an NFL draft. Come play for me. I will do it in a hot second. And the way Travis Hunter did it was fantastic. I love it. That's the same way I would do it. He's throwing. He threw Georgia's hat. He put Georgia's hat on for a sec, took it off, threw it, said, "Nah, that don't fit me." Picks up Florida State, puts it on for a second. He says, "Nah, this ain't the team I'm picking." Looked at his friend in the stand and said, "Throw me that hat." Nobody knew what hat it was, and he just threw it on, and all you see was the J and the Believe shirt, and that was it. Congratulations to Travis Hunter. You're going to be mentored by Deion Sanders, a Hall of Famer and one of the greatest to do it. We're towards the end of the show. That was our last topic, and now that we're towards the end of our show, we can let you guys know up on our NFL fantasy league update. It is our final week, Jay, of this year's fantasy football, and then we go into the playoffs.
Yes. And so, you know, for those who don't know, I've been mentoring young Frankie here in the ways of the world of fantasy football and stuff like that. He didn't really have a good clue to how, a lot of these players. And I had to kind of give him a quick tutorial on how to play fantasy football. And, surprisingly, the young buck is doing well. He's still looking up at me.
I can't believe you.
Hey, listen, he's still in the basement. He's still in the basement. He's looking up at me. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm sitting pretty. And listen, I had a lot of people go down to COVID. A lot. I had Gaskin, Waddle, you name it, man. I mean, I got guys going down for COVID. But guess what? Your boy's still there. And your boy's going to win this week. Frankie, I'm going to win this week. I'm going to have to spank you down because I can't let you beat the master. I'm going to have to spank you a little bit.
Jay, who was the first to beat you this year? That's all I'm going to say. Answer it.
I can't.
Answer it. Who was the first to beat you this year?
For legal purposes, I can't answer.
When you started the year 5-0, I want to know who was the first to put that one in your record. Oh, I remember who it was. It was the guy who owns a team on fantasy that's called Cowboys Suck. I believe the owner's name was Frankie. He was that first person to beat you. Listen, if you beat me this weekend, I don't care because I have a solid lead over the fourth ranked person. So I'm going to make the playoffs either way. I don't care.
Hey, either way, we're going to be seeing each other in the playoffs.
Exactly. So,
hey, Brandon Herrera. Yeah, how's 11-3 feel? I'll tell you how 11-3 feels. My guys were out on buys. They were all on bye weeks. So you basically beat me by a very, very small margin. But now they're back. And we're back. I'm telling you, I'm coming for you. It's not over yet. We're going to the playoffs. It's not over yet.
I'm going to tell you something, Jay. You're coming off of a loss. I'm coming off of a loss. One of us needs this win. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably going to be you. It's probably going to be you. But with that, you have any final thoughts?
Hey, listen, man. Cowboys, we on the rise, people. Y'all better step up and realize this. Even in rebuild mode, my boys are coming back. We're coming back.
I'm just going to shake my head because we all know deep down inside, everybody's watching and they're just saying, Jay, we all know you're a Dallas fan. But we want to say thank you guys for taking time out of your night to watch us tonight. It had an amazing show. We had some interactions from people, some great comments. Much love. We miss our boy Logan. He'll be back for Saturday. Don't forget, tune in Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be live, myself, Jay McLoving, and our boy Logan Landers. With that, we want to say have a good night and see you this weekend. Enjoy your Thursday night football.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.